Hello, Gorringes are on view yet again, this time for our sale on the 7th of June. June is here, that means May, which was really April, is June, and I don't know. Anyway, the weather's getting better, hopefully. And we've got some things for you to look at, as ever. I'm going to start this week with carriage clocks, because they caught my eye. There's a whole run of them across the top here. And I can't recall if I've talked about carriage clocks before, but what do we look for in a carriage clock? Well, your carriage clock starts as your basic carriage timepiece. So you tend to get a plain, rather unremarkable brass case. You'll get a plainish dial, and you will get no gongs or bells or anything on it. It will just tell the time, which makes it a timepiece, not a clock, because clocks have to strike on a bell or a gong or whatever, but they have to strike. So a timepiece it is. So this one is lot 164. It's lost its glass from one side, which adds to further complications of having to deal with it. And that will be a very modest value. That will be about £40–50. So then where do we go from there? Well, we go up in terms of a slightly smarter dial. That's a little bit fancier. It's lost its back glass though, so that still is a bit of a pain. In today's market, it's cheaper to buy one in good order than it is to buy one that needs work. Then we go up to something like this, which is still a timepiece. It's not striking on a gong, but it's got a rather smart little dial, nice smart little case with this sort of blind fretwork. It's all there, it's all intact. It is probably running. We give it a shake, and no, it's not running, nothing happens. So that's annoying. That will need sorting out. Repair means costs money, so that's going to be something that needs to be looked at. Here is another, again, carriage timepiece. And again, we're not running at the top, which is disappointing. That's quite a smart thing. Two colours going on there. I mean, normally in good running condition, that would be a sort of £100 to £200 piece. And most of the buyers, it has to be said, a lot of them are either talented amateurs who can restore it themselves, or they're professionals who will do the work. Get something smaller, a miniature. That's more desirable, just because it's dinky-doo, slightly smarter case. Again, just a timepiece. But perhaps in that size, that's sort of £200 to £300, so sort of 4 times better than your bog standard. Then you go up to things like, you look for repeating. So you press the button on the top and nothing happens. We haven't rehearsed this, you can tell. But here's another one, and you press this one on the top, triggers the mechanism, and it strikes. Now, it might just strike the hours, in which case you'll get 10 hits on the gong. It might strike the quarters after it's done the hours. It might even do the minutes. So, in which case it's a sort of grand sonnerie. It's a rather splendid thing. So this one here, it's striking the hours. It's also got a lower dial that says it's got an alarm. So you can set the alarm, and that will also strike. So it's got a repeat mechanism and an alarm, and it's all going. It's stamped up. It's French, so that's a bit more useful. It's not the prettiest of cases, one has to say. That's a bit of a chunky case. But that should be a sort of £200 to £300. Here, this one, probably just not wound up yet, but this is Charles Frodsham, relatively modern. This is a sort of 50s, 60s take on a carriage clock. But it's all there, and it's all good. And yeah, you give it a shake, and the escapement at the top starts ticking away. So that's almost certainly going and running. We don't usually test them to make sure they keep time, but we do look at them to make sure that they are actually working to some extent. Same with watches, we sort of make sure they tick, but whether they're going to stick with the time is anybody's guess. Anything old like that, highly unreliable, I should imagine. So anyway, there we go. There's our crash course on carriage clocks. You can get fancier ones with porcelain involved and all sorts of things. Like everything in antiques, you can start at a very modest sum, and you can go up into the thousands. But we've also got, coming up in that sale on the 7th, a shelves full of silver, shelves full of coins and medals and bits and pieces under here. It's also a rather nice lot of Tunbridge ware, a collection of Tunbridge ware sort of scattered throughout the sale. I'll pick up on a few pieces out on the shelves. And then the usual mixture as ever. There's a Tunbridge ware desk thermometer. And there's various other bits here. There's a box there of Brighton Pavilion. There's Chinese works of art, of course, always. Other collectibles, but I'm going to drift around here and come around to these Tunbridge ware boxes. So Tunbridge ware, traditionally from the Tunbridge ware area, you get a load of effectively like matchsticks in different colours. You put them together in a pattern, and you slice through like a veneer to make a picture. And they can be of various identifiable locations, or they might just be a sort of floral style pattern. So we've got a little run of those. This one here is not actually Tunbridge ware in the lid, it's printed with a panel, the west view of the pavilion at Brighton, and that again is another common sort of Tunbridge ware trait, that you get these nice transfer printed views, hand coloured, but a simulated rosewood around the outside. None of them will be mega money. They're varying states of condition. I mean, that's nice. It's got its lovely original paper and silk. It would have been fitted probably with reels and things, but it's got a bit of a split running through though, which is a pain, because again, it's just cheaper to buy one in good order than it is to buy one that needs work. I keep harping on about this week. But sometimes, because it's so unusual, you permit that, you accept the fact that there might be flaws. So that's a nice view along Marine Parade, Brighton. Unusual, this green background with this sort of vermiculae type work here. It's sort of riddle work, but vermiculae, if that was gilding, we'd call it vermiculae gilding. And nicely fitted inside. There's another copy, there's another view. The pavilion, and imagine we lift this up, we've got some inkwells and what have you. So, a few bits of Tunbridge ware. You can get some marvellous things, you can get some more mundane things, but there's a nice little selection to look at. That one's a chest of drawers, so that's kind of fun. Lot 260.
So what sort of money are we talking about for these? What's the estimate?
We're probably, estimates haven't been printed yet, but to my mind, you'd buy something like that nice casket with the drawers for sort of 150, 200, maybe 2 to 3 at a push, depending on the decoration. I think that slope might be a couple of hundred or so. If it was in better order, the print in better condition, I'd expect more. Once you get really nice, good ones with good detailed images, you can go into the hundreds and above, and they made things like tables and all sorts of things as well. So that's Tunbridge ware for you. As I say, we've got some of that. Elsewhere, the usual mixture of decorative items. There's a big Oriental collection coming in, which includes a number of these carved boxes. Doesn't smell like sandalwood, but nicely carved in relief, and that's in with 2 others. That's lot 268. And pictures again, usual variety, some maps. Here's a sort of, it's quite fun here. This is a map of the British, the smaller islands of the British Ocean by Robert Morden. So you've got the Isle of Man, Isle of Wight. Everyone's going there this weekend. It's going to be very busy apparently on the ferries. Jersey, Guernsey, all sorts, even Holy Island, there we go. So that's quite fun. It's in nice uncoloured condition, the original unprinted. That's where the fold was when it was in a folio or a book, and it's got a slight stain, probably where someone's put some tape down the back. Won't be expensive. I'd imagine that's sort of getting on 70 to 100 pounds or so, but kind of fun, particularly if you know someone on them or have a connection to the islands. So there we go. That's sort of covers the small section of the sale to some degree. We'll go over the warehouse and see what's happening over there. So in the warehouse, it's a bit like a gardener's world yet again, and it's gardening stuff. And we've got this rather lovely shrub, which I must admit I don't know the name for. But it's lot 2 is what it's called, and it's in a simulated lead planter, which makes it cheaper and less heavy to get your shrub home. It's quite tall, you'll need a lorry. There's ferns in the bottom. What a beautiful thing. Don't have a lot number as yet, but I'd imagine that's going to make good ones £200. More garden things scattered throughout, including nice cast iron urn there. That's lot 108, but I'm told it's been broken through the stem, so very hard to weld, I believe, a bit tricky, so you might need to bear that in mind. Lot 107, we've got this big pair of planters in the traditional style. 106, we've got these, again, sometimes called reconstituted stone, sometimes called concrete or sort of cement. But anyway, 3 of those, because of the material they're made from, they won't be mega money, but that makes them good value. They're nice and big, so you can fill the space up with them. Now, I dance around this bookcase that hasn't been collected yet, and head up this way. Now, here's a whopping great urn. Look at this. This is metal. It's not iron. Well, it's cast iron, but it's a cast alloy. Lovely big thing. Lot 44. You could paint it. You could just cover it in yogurt and let it go green. And it's got a fair sort of capacity within, though no drainage holes, I know. You may or may not be able to drill them. Anyway, lot 44. Nice big thing that. I think that'd be around £400 or £500. Further down the line, and we have more plants. This looks like a cistus to me, lot 6, in a nice old stonish trough. Probably be around about 100 again. More metal urns there, and then again this sort of metal garden furniture. We had a run of this a couple of weeks ago, and it was all selling very well. You get the table with a glass top and the chairs. They need a coat of paint or not, according to your taste. and how you like them and when you want to get rust marks on your white shorts. If you wear rust-coloured shorts, you'll be okay. Corderline here, this is like a garden centre. It's much more fun. I think we should just sell plants. Blooming furniture, boring, isn't it? Lot 12, lovely big corderline there. His name's Eric, apparently. If you get it, you've got to call it Eric. Lot 12 in a big blue planter. I don't know, 50 to 100 quid, my bet, but we'll see. Down the end, and there's more garden. It really is, it's rather fun. It's like, I think we'll do Chelsea next year. Look at the quality offerings we've got. So we've got a whole load of different sort of composition urns and pots and things. This rather lovely one, but with a broken stem. It's rather nice that. Look, that composition material. That's an earthenware type material, but you're going to have to get your glue out to put that back together. Lot 23. At the back and in the picture section, these are by, I made a note and then forgot, bear with me, caller. These are by Philippa Claydon, no less. Google her, sure she'll come up. This is called Cornish Walkabout. The other one doesn't have a name on it, but perhaps that's also a bit of a Cornish Walkabout. Looks more like he's doing a runner from the naked people. Running away from nudists, that one's called. That's the title I've just given it. Something like that. Anyway, great fun. Mixed media, look, sackcloth and tape and oil and all sorts of stuff in there. Very big, bold, bright things. If you've got an interior to do, maybe, I don't know, a hub or who knows, they could be great for it. They are huge, as you can see. Look at them in scale. But they're lot 662, 663. I haven't estimated them yet, but I'm going to do that soon. They come from a corporate art collection. Now, something more traditional. How about that? Lot 63. Nice plain mahogany desk. 1970s or 80s leather tops. Not the best, but it's clean and usable. Nice quality. Got the old locks. Pretty good state of condition. What's it going to cost? Maybe £300. Won't be huge. We walk past another bit of garden bench and head down the line. And sort of things like these child's correction type chairs, lot 65, pair of those, won't be big money, under 100 I should think. The garden gnome department, our senior partner Philip Taylor loves those, lot 91. The squirrel department, Chinese table department, big sort of interesting-ish, not quite arts and crafts, I think it's just functional, lot 101. Big sliding doors, fair depth to it. Could be something interesting for a kitchen. If you're doing a kitchen, you could do something with that, could look great. Otherwise, more panelling, bookcases, bow front chests, marble top tables, as ever, it's all here probably. If it's not here, it'll be here next week. So, good sale, not a bad sale at all to have a look at. Other sales are online. Coming up in the middle of June, Barefoot Opera Company, raise money for good causes. They're doing a special sale of contemporary art at Charleston Farmhouse. It's ticketed and you won't get in unless you're well connected apparently, so they won't let me in. But anyway, yes they will because I'm the auctioneer, but normally they wouldn't. But yes, have a look online at that. It's going to be on the Gorringes website. It's some really interesting contemporary art. You can bid live online with no extra charges on the day. And all the money goes to a very good cause, so I'll be on at you about that again before we're done with these videos. So there we go, that's it really. I haven't got any more to add. The weekend's been by the time you're seeing this, I think. Is that right?
No, I'll put it online today.
Oh, the weekend's coming. Have a lovely time in the garden. Just make sure you view Gorringes Saturday morning. Excellent. Good.
Because there's a sale, isn't there?
Because there's a sale on Monday as well as the Monday sale that I'm talking about now. There's always a sale. We're going crazy. Excellent. So have a lovely sunny weekend, bank holiday weekend. There's a sale bank holiday Monday. So we're all working then, but we hope to see you there. Have a good one. Thank you.